forgot. Lulu, remember.
And we're on point.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Hi.
Danny's just like, what have I got myself into?
Oh, no. This is tame compared to what we just did earlier.
Yeah, good
Oh
point.
god, yeah. Anyway, I have to say hello.
Hi, people.
So, this is the Blue Minds Think Alike podcast. That is Lou.
That's Yasmin.
And today we have a special guest of
Woohoo!
Hey guys, how's it going?
Daddy.
Danny. I would start, but I'm not gonna.
I'm the other one here with that blue hair. Keep that in mind.
This is why we call you an honorary.
I'm an honorary.
You're an honorary blue man.
I have blue wires though, so that counts.
That counts. Sorted.
You're blue.
You're in.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Hey, listen.
so-
As long as we can fuck up the Reds, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm referencing a show here.
I know. I just had to because it's red.
Hey, yeah, guys, you ever wonder why we're here? You've never
No.
seen Red versus Blue? You've never seen Red versus Blue? Yasmin, have you seen Red versus Blue?
Vaguely.
Have you seen the first episode at least?
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
about to kill us.
Just I'm gonna get my first line of defense.
It's one of life's greatest mysteries.
Would it be the Nerf gun by any chance, Yas? Yep.
You can't kill me.
No, not from here.
Dude, I'm like Woods in Black Ops when he's doing Russian roulette. You can't kill me.
Yeah. But the biggest point of this is you're our first guest.
I know.
We have a ton to book still.
Yeah, we do.
But
have
you're
a
our
ton.
first. Because people have been asking. So at some point we will get around to that. But you're our first.
I feel very honored.
Woohoo!
You should be on it, especially you're a good friend of both of us. So
Oh yeah.
You guys are great friends too.
Aw.
Putting up with all my bullshit.
We love you, Danny.
I love you too.
Anyway, introduce yourself to the world real quick.
Cool. So the name's Danny, the most common name on planet Earth. Specifically, people named after me fought lions or survived lions. Something that has to do with lions in the Bible. I'm not sure. That's why my mom named me.
I
Daniel
don't have
and
a
the
Bible,
Lion's
so I can't
Den.
check that.
The lions den, yeah.
Mhm.
Technically, I was named after my father. So
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I am a filmmaker, director, writer, editor, because I do edit my own shit sometimes, and yeah, that's about it, man. I do YouTube every now and then, you know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and basically Danny asked to talk about horror movies today.
Yes, I did.
I'm so glad I've got Brady with me.
Bless you.
And sneeze.
No, I'm good. I thought I was gonna go a second time. But yeah, Danny asked to talk about horror movies because basically filmmaker and also horror is one of your favorite genres, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. So what am I going to talk
Lou,
about?
we are going to talk to this and we are going to get your opinion no matter what.
Hi.
Hello there.
Okay, so how do we start this discussion, I wonder?
Honestly, just ask me anything. And I'll
Okay.
answer.
All right, we can put in discussion about obviously what your favorites are and our favorites, so we can put them all together and have some fun.
It'll be a mishmash of chaos.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna ask a random question of favorite horror movie of all time that you've watched.
Oh, dude, that's an easy question. Everyone knows this already, but I'm going to say it again because I love talking about it. My favorite horror movie of all time is John Carpenter's Halloween. It is just so fucking good. The cinematography, the suspense, the tension, the kills. Oh my god, it's so good. It's just a master class in just horror filmmaking. It's so very subtle. It's not over the top. It's so very subtle that just even like the longest shot feels just disturbing because you don't know if homeboy is gonna pop out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's very much shot in the perspective of a stalker. You know, just like very distant, a lot of wide shots, and it's like it very much makes you feel like you're the one that's doing the stalking.
Puts you
and
in
then
perspective of the
puts
killer,
you
in other words.
It puts you in the perspective of the killer, yeah. And that John Carpenter's filmmaking in that movie is so good.
Yeah. Lou, do you have a favorite horror movie? Because we both me and Lou, we're not exactly into the horror genre, but we like elements of it and also some elements of it in other films.
I can link you guys some great horror movies if you want.
No, thank you.
All right, so I'm off this podcast.
No, he actually walked out.
We lost Danny.
I'm back. They gave me $200.
Okay.
Our team is that good, apparently.
Okay. Favorite horror movie. Don't know if I'd even call it a horror.
Go for it.
Saw.
Yeah, that's a horror movie.
Okay.
Like the original Saw, right? Yeah, that's a horror movie.
Yeah, that's the one I told Yasmin the story of the other day.
That's a great movie.
Not when you're scared shitless.
I can't watch them.
By your own mother.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. Yasmin knows it, but Danny doesn't.
Tell the story.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
in my old house. I was sat at my computer with headphones in the dark, with the door closed, watching Saw and shitting myself. All of a sudden, 2 hands come over the top of my fucking shoulders. It's my mum.
Oh no.
She sneakily opened the door and crawled in the room. I shit one. I really shit one. It's not funny. Danny is about to burst. I've made Danny speechless.
I'm gonna find where you guys live. I'm gonna give her $100.
I just gave you my address.
Awesome. Sending the payment now. Because I'm that rich. Look at my room.
Hopefully no one can read lips on YouTube.
Oh, my answer's gonna be fucking shite. Because okay. I liked Crimson Peak. I'm gonna say it. I liked Crimson Peak.
I haven't
seen that.
It's when it's gothic horror.
Okay.
Okay.
So I kind of like gothic horror. I've some horrors I can watch, some I can't. I cannot watch Paranormal Activity or The Conjuring ever in my lifetime. No, thank you.
When I saw it was on my birthday, Paranormal Activity, I went, no. 6th of September, 1988. I just went,
But yeah, I go with Crimson Peak because of how terrifying some of the visuals were in that, especially when like you look at what the film's about and just it's ghost stories and just wallowing spirits, and it's so creepy and so good. Even though that film was ripped to shreds by critics and everything, I really like visually appreciate it, and that was Guillermo del Toro's film.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, I need to see that movie. 'Cause I heard some positive things about it from friends. The thing with horror is that like horror is very subjective, right? Like the horror movies that really get me are like very subtle but very disturbing, But movies like the typical Hollywood jump scare possession movies, they don't get me.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like the movie Hereditary was like one of my favorite movies of like the last decade, and that when I walked out of the movie, I was thinking about that movie for an entire week. That's how good it was. That's how effective it was. And
if you've got a movie that stays with you for a good week,
then
that's how you know. Yeah, that's how you know that it's got you.
Especially if you're wanting to go and see it again for that reason.
Oh yeah, dude, I want to see that movie over and over again. Especially like towards not to spoil anything for anybody, but there's a moment, not halfway through the movie, but somewhere towards the end of the first act, in the beginning of the second act, something happens that you would never expect, right? And it just leaves you floored. It leaves you fucking floored. Yeah, and for me, the scariest moment in that movie isn't even like a horror piece or like a possession or a jump scare. It's literally a dinner scene with the family. That was the scariest scene in the entire movie for me.
Whoa.
In Hereditary. Because it was just that effective. You need to watch the movie to understand what I'm talking about.
Also, it's the guy who made Midsommar as well. It was the person who made Midsommar who made Hereditary.
Same director.
And Hereditary, when I saw the trailer, I was just like, yeah, no. Well, hearing from you, basically, that a family dinner was the scariest thing. Just like, let's not.
Let's stay the fuck away.
I know I turned around onto my shelves for a second while you were talking, but I had to pick up because I actually do own a horror movie, or two of them on DVD.
Yes. Dr. Sleep. Okay. What? Unpopular opinion. Very unpopular opinion. I like Dr. Sleep a lot more than The Shining.
I agree with you.
I know, but I'm about to get railed.
I loved Dr. Sleep.
It's so good.
Haven't seen either.
Okay, don't watch The Shining on your own. That's the first thing I'm going to say.
Sorry, Danny.
It's okay. It's okay. You've seen all the other movies I love, so you're fine.
Yeah. Don't watch The Shining on your own. Definitely don't watch The Shining on your own. But just because I picked up the book, but I left it back home because of I have a certain amount of books on here I can only fit. But I picked up The Shining and tried to read it, and I only got through the beginning because I struggle with reading. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to end up just seeing the film. And I loved the film. I think it was great for what it was trying to do, and it was effective for an 80s film.
Yeah.
And then bring up Dr. Sleep
for the
continuation. Oh my god.
Wait, it's a continuation.
Yeah.
Okay, so the concept of Dr. Sleep is Danny Torrance, when he gets to the age of, I believe he's in his 30s?
I think it might be his 40s, like his early 40s.
30s, early 40s kind of thing. I know we go through his 20s a little bit because he's a recovering alcoholic as well. Yeah. Which, not much of a spoiler, because he went through some shit. But it's dealing with what the shine is. And it's basically him becoming something to a girl called Abra Stone.
Okay.
And there's an entire story in there that I'm not going to spoil.
I'm still officially scared.
It's really so good.
Dude, Mike Flanagan is such a fantastic filmmaker, man.
Especially he did Haunting of the House on the Hill.
He did, Haunting of Hill House, and then Blind Manor. But he also did Gerald's Game too, which that was a really good movie. And I believe he did Oculus as well, and Hush. Oh, you guys need to watch Hush. It's so good.
Yeah, I wanted to watch Oculus because that was interesting, of just a mirror being that paranormal thing.
Here's the thing that I love about horror is that it's not just about the scares. You feel me? Like good horror isn't just about the scares. Sometimes there's something more to it than that. So,
I think
for
that's
example,
what the Conjuring films tried to do, isn't it? Because they were true stories.
Yeah, they were based on true stories. The Warren, the Warrens, those are true stories.
The Warrens are true stories.
They were real people.
They were real. The things that happened weren't as eccentric as The Conjuring made them out to be, but they were real.
The Annabelle doll is real, dude.
Brady,
and it's creepier. It's the Annabelle doll is a lot creepier in real life than she is in the movies. Oh my god, we're in my territory now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I'm fine with it.
So The Exorcist, because a lot of people like
I can't watch The Exorcist. I genuinely can't watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my little deep, pretentious, fucking analysis on that real quick.
Okay,
go for it.
Maybe it'll change the way you look at it.
Okay.
The Exorcist is not about the exorcism. It's not about the demonic possession. It's not about the girl. It's about the priest who is having a crisis of faith, and by the end of it, he learns to accept God again. That's what the movie's actually about. Yeah, because the movie, like his mom is dying, and he's like he's questioning God. He's questioning his faith. He's questioning a lot of things, and by the time the exorcism needs to happen, he accepts God again. He finds his faith through that spiritual battle. It's such a beautiful movie.
I get that.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like a lot of horror movies. That a lot of horror movies have deeper meaning. Like Hereditary isn't really about the cult or possession. It's about a family who's going through loss and has severe like mental health issues that have been passed down onto them. Halloween, I see it as more of like a stranger danger narrative than some guy with a knife coming in slashing away. Fucking English, Daniel. Slashing away. It's more of like the fear of the time. The stranger danger fear. Especially after the Manson murders. Like there were like cinema got real dark in the 70s after the Manson murders.
I suspect they would.
Yeah, and it reflected the time. Great horror movies aren't just about the scares. It's sometimes it's about more than that.
Yeah, like there's lists of horror movies that I won't see. I will never see The Nun. I won't see any of the Conjuring.
Awful. The first two Conjurings are good, but The Nun and Annabelle are just awful.
I watched The Conjuring. Now I know it was a real story. I'm not happy.
I'm sorry, Lou. We've done this to you.
Brady, save me.
Nobody can save you.
Thank you. I'll throw my chicken nuggets at you.
And I'll eat
wasting
the chicken.
Perfectly good chicken nuggets.
Then I'll eat the chicken nuggets.
Perfect. Exactly.
True.
I will bring up a movie that I have watched, a horror movie that I have watched, which is Blumhouse, Happy Death Day.
I have not seen that movie.
Happy Death.
I thought that was an interesting film, especially because I've now seen Groundhog Day. Thank you, Relator. I've now seen Groundhog Day, and looking at Groundhog Day and then looking how much Happy Death Day turns that on its head for Tree, just to figure out who's trying to kill her, and then they're killing her over and over and over again until she figures it out. It's brilliant. I think it's brilliant, and I've yet to see Happy Death Day 2.
Wait, there's a second one?
Yeah, it's Happy Death Day 2U.
Okay.
And Tree is very angry in that one. Same day, same day.
That same filmmaker made 2020's Freaky, right, with Vince Vaughn and I forgot who the other girl was, but
Catherine Newton.
Yeah, and basically that movie's like it's Freaky Friday, but if the bodies were being swapped with a serial killer and a teenage girl.
It's turning concepts on their head, which I enjoy.
Yeah,
I
it's
enjoy
so
that.
good. That's like that. I think that's the future of horror. It's just like high concepts being flipped.
I recently at Christmas I checked out a film called Better Watch Out.
Better watch out. I think I've heard of it. Is it like an old movie?
No, it's a 2015 movie.
Mm.
It's basically kind of like it's really good.
Why have I
But
heard
basically,
of this?
it takes the concept of Home Alone, but with a babysitter, and then all of a sudden, there's a twist, and it's so brilliant.
I should check that out.
I've seen this.
You really should. You really should watch that.
Yeah.
Especially as like they've done demented Christmas movies, especially with Better Watch Out. That's a very good one. Krampus. That's a very creepy one.
No.
My favorite Christmas movie is this movie called Black Christmas. It was one of the first like holiday horror movies. This came out before Halloween.
I know Blumhouse tried to make a Christmas movie as well.
Yeah, we don't talk about that Black Christmas.
I've seen Krampus.
There is
I know that.
literally a scene in the remake of Black Christmas where they're having discussion about toxic masculinity and femininity. And one of the motherfuckers does this argument saying, well, not all men are like that, and then walks out. I'm like, who writes this? Who writes this? It's like someone got on Twitter, looked at all the things that people say on fucking comment sections, and like, genius. That's our script right there. But the original Black Christmas is so good. It's very subtle, and there's not a lot of blood and gore in it, but it's so creepy. Especially like at the end, where you just hear him breathe. It's not like how Michael Myers breathes, where he's just like a robot. It's a human breath, you know. It's that this guy is troubled in the head and that he's been unleashed, and it's kind of like it's very realistic in that sense, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
I watched.
Yeah.
I watched Krampus
Sorry,
in a
Lou, go
hotel
for it.
room and locked the door.
Yeah, there are so many horror movies I can't watch. I don't watch the gore ones because I'm not into that. I'm very much not into that. I watch the ones like obviously Happy Death Day. I want to watch Freaky. Yeah, I watch the psychological ones kind of very much just because I find them interesting.
Oh yeah.
Those are
Because
the
I
ones
need
that
to
fuck
watch
with
Get
my
Out and
brain.
Us. I need to watch those.
Get Out was really good. Like Get Out it's more than what it is on the surface. I'll say that. There's so much more to it than what it is on the surface. And Jordan Peele, like that man went from making fucking skits on Comedy Central to like an Oscar Award nominated film.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Didn't he win an Oscar? Didn't he win one?
I think he did I think it was like directing or writing. I'm not sure.
Let me look it up real quick.
Go for it.
Should have
But
said
Get Out
okay,
was just
Google.
Oh, you want me to ask OK Google? Okay, Google. What did Jordan Peele win an Oscar for?
Skynet now knows where you live.
The award for Best Original Screenplay for Get Out in 2018.
Original
There it is.
screenplay.
There it is. So he won for original screenplay.
I don't know if anybody caught that, but
It came over.
did work. So you do have a voice.
She does when she wants to.
She just she has a mind of her own. The robot revolution has begun.
Yeah. I think that would be an interesting horror concept.
It technically is because of the first Terminator. The first Terminator
would be, yeah.
That is a horror movie and an action movie rolled into one.
What about the third one though?
I don't think that counts as a horror.
No, not a
No,
horror,
that's-
but like the machines are taking over.
Oh yeah.
third
But
one.
I'm talking more. Yeah, but I'm talking more like in horror in like the traditional sense, like the creepy factor of it. Because the first movie is very. There's a lot of like Halloween elements to it in the first Terminator movie, like the way Arnold Schwarzenegger walks isn't very different to how Michael Myers walks in the original Halloween, just very robotic, like no emotion at all, and Fun fact, I think I've shared this with you guys already, but I'm gonna share it with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
The creation of the Terminator came as James Cameron was having like a fucking fever dream while he was doing a really shitty B movie. And the dream goes is that he's in this post-apocalyptic world, everyone's dead, and a robot, the Terminator comes to him and says, James Cameron, you have been targeted for termination, and he wakes up. Then he decides to draw it, he pitches it, he casts it. Arnold wasn't originally supposed to be the Terminator. He wanted to be John Connor. But
Whoa.
James Cameron convinced him, like, no, you should be the Terminator. Like, you are perfect for the Terminator.
I just decided to Google horror movies just off the bat. And there are so many I can look at that I remember seeing trailers for, because there was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I will not go and see. I can't go and see that movie. Let's see what else there is on this list. If there's one you want to talk about, Danny, tell me when.
Let's see. What's a good horror movie that I've seen recently?
Someone said they'd seen Saint Maud, I think. Anything else?
I'm gonna talk about-
Hereditary's already been talked about. Brightburn.
The Evil Dead.
Brightburn's quite good, actually.
The Evil Dead, go for it.
So, okay. The Evil Dead is that's like Sam Raimi's masterpiece right there, Sam Raimi, if you don't know, he directed the Spider-Man films.
Yes.
The best Spider-Man films, and I will fight everybody on that. I will die on this hill.
Wait, is that the Tobey Maguire? No.
Yeah, the original.
Oh,
Spider-Man
is it Tobey Maguire ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Yeah. And the thing about like the Evil Dead trilogy is that, of course it's about like the deadites and the blood and the gore and all the craziness. Yasmin's about to kick my ass right now because she disagrees with me so hard.
I don't disagree. I think Sam Raimi's films are great. I just have a better opinion on Spider-Man himself.
I will fight you. Okay. No.
No,
Okay.
it's a very good opinion, trust.
Okay. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I know.
And of course, the first one starts out like they're a bunch of dumb teenagers going to like a cabin, right? Summoning like the dead, right? The evil dead, and it's very much like a classic hardcore, over the top blood and gore horror movie. That ends with like Ash supposedly getting taken by the Evil Dead. Then in comes Evil Dead 2, right? Fun fact about that movie, they didn't have the rights to their own movie, so they had to recreate the first one in like 5 minutes or less. Yeah.
What? They didn't have the rights to their own?
They didn't have the rights to their own movie.
Oh my god, and it was supposed to be a sequel.
How did they not?
Huh?
It was supposed to be a secondary to that film.
Yeah, Evil Dead 2 was supposed to be the continuation of that film. So what they had to do was basically it's a recap and a remake. The first 5 minutes of Evil Dead 2 are a recap.
Previously on Evil Dead.
Previously on Evil Dead, yeah. And it starts off with Ash coming to the cabin with his girlfriend. You don't see Scott or Linda or anyone else. They come in. Girlfriend gets possessed. Ash gets taken by the Evil Dead. So then we finally see what happens after the Evil Dead takes Ash, right? And for a little bit, he's possessed, but he comes back to normal after a while, right?
Yeah.
So the whole movie is just Ash having to survive another day of the shit, and Ash has lost his mind. He is done. Like, he is completely done. And whenever something crazy happens, he just laughs it off like, this I'm fucking done with this shit, right? And then another group comes in because the person who left the tape in the Necronomicon, his daughter comes in to trying to figure out what's going on. So then they realize the Evil Dead has been unleashed. All hell's broken loose. They have to send it back in time from whence it came. So they do that. They send the Evil Dead back in time, but Ash gets taken through the wormhole and gets sent to medieval times. Enter Army of Darkness, Evil Dead Part 3. God damn it! And now Ash is like, this is when Ash becomes like the hero of the story. This is like when he is just, well, gotta do something about it now because I need to get back home, and clearly we're fucked, and that's when like Ash finally comes into his own. So the whole Evil Dead trilogy, if you really, really think about it, is actually Joseph Campbell's hero arc, just done a lot longer. than it was in Star Wars. You know, he goes from being like, you know, reluctant to being like, you know, just scared all the time to just done to finally embracing being a hero, right? So yeah, that's my dumbass interpretation of the Evil Dead movies.
Yeah, I've realized there is a horror movie I can reference because I've referenced it on Blue Minds before, but I can reference again just because of the sake of what it turned into. I can reference the Omen again because
Oh yeah, Damien.
Yeah, I referenced Damien because the Omen being the movie about a little child who was basically meant to be the Antichrist, and everyone was dying for Damien, so they were wondering why there was horror around their house and all this death, and it was because of a single child. And then cut to what the Damien series is about is that Damien in his 30s trying to figure out why death is happening all around him and figuring out he's the Antichrist for himself.
I get that.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it's when you get those creepy elements.
It would
horror
be
you can
creepy.
draw from many places. Like, obviously, we've talked about how the Evil Dead can be drawn from all that character building.
Yeah.
Then there's the Omen, which goes into religion and the Antichrist and satanic kind of
Book
like
of Revelations.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then just like the topsy-turvy psychological, there's the gory, which I stay away from. It's just like, no, thank you, bye-bye.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan. Literally. And then just the fun thriller ones as well.
Yeah. Here's the thing, because there's certain movies that aren't traditionally horror movies that I think are kind of horror movies. So for example, I see Dunkirk as a horror movie.
Do you?
Yeah. So okay.
Give me this pitch.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about the right words to say right now, so I don't come off as stupid. I always come off as stupid. What am I saying? So throughout the entire movie, you can't see the enemy. You don't know where the fire is coming from. You can't see the Germans. The only time you see the German soldiers is at the end of the movie. But other than that, you can't see them. So they're kind of like the monster under the bed or the killer hiding in the closet. You don't know where they are, and you feel the tension that these soldiers are feeling. There's a scene in the movie where, you know, they're in a boat, right, and a torpedo comes. I remember being in that theater screaming, "Oh shit!" You know, like terrified for the soldiers.
Yeah.
Right. And that is prevalent throughout the entire movie. You can't see the enemy. You don't know where the enemy is coming from. They could be on the hills. They could be in the rooftops. They could be around you. They could be in the air when the bombs are dropping. That's terrifying to me. And to me, that has a lot of elements of a horror movie in it.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of films you can reference having horror movie kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. For example, Jaws. You know, you don't see the shark all that often, and it's done through camera work, and it builds suspense.
I'd say Maze Runner has those aesthetics with Scotch Trials and Death Cure when you're just bumping into those horrific cranks.
Yeah.
Because I remember I jumped in the theater once after someone got struck by lightning. They went into the building. It was dark. They turned on their lights. What's the first thing they see? A crank just coming at them. And I'm just like, fuck. So yeah, but also nod to the kind of films that take the horror kind of thing. They tried with New Mutants. They tried.
I haven't seen that movie.
I haven't seen it, but it did get rated quite low and people did not enjoy it. It's why I'm looking forward to Multiverse of Madness, because we're going into gothic horror.
Sam Raimi's back.
Multiverse of Madness. And it's Sam Raimi.
Then that's the only reason why I want to watch it, is because it's Sam Raimi.
Yeah, you're gonna get pulled back into the Multiverse of Madness.
Probably, yeah. After I watched that, I'm like, I would go back and watch WandaVision. I'm like, what did I miss?
Because Wanda's gonna be in it.
She is?
Yes.
Oh shit.
You kind of need to watch WandaVision now.
Ah, damn
Mhm.
it. Okay, I'll probably watch it around the time the Bad Batch comes out.
Nice.
But oh yeah, man. There's a lot of movies that aren't traditional horror movies that take inspiration from horror, that use a lot of horror elements.
Yeah, some of them parody them as well.
Yeah. I think one of the more like unique horror movies that came out, because around like the 80s, the slashes were heavily saturated. Like if you think that the superhero genre is saturated now, oh, you don't know what saturation is, because there were horror movies about every different holiday, left and fucking right. Okay, you had Friday the 13th. You had My Bloody Valentine.
Mm.
There were some Christmas horror movies that were like really bad. Pretty sure there's an Easter Bunny horror movie, but I just haven't looked too far into it.
I'm gonna Google that just to save you the trouble.
Please do. But the slashers were like very, very saturated at that time, right?
Mm.
Like
Bunny Man?
gotta be kidding me. What year did it come out?
I'm about to find out. That was 2011.
I get pendejo.
That's a bunny with a
Oh,
chainsaw.
Sweet
That's even worse.
God.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Is he trying? Are you trying to remake Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
They probably are. They probably are with the bunny.
With
Why is
Thumper.
there a bunny with a chainsaw?
With Thumper.
And then there's Bunny Man Vengeance, Bunny Man Massacre.
Please God, why?
Oh dear Lord.
I'm gonna stop googling because
Yes, please.
no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No. Daddy, do you want to go back up to your original point?
I'm
Yep.
good. I'm I'm tired. The world's ending. I'm tired. But no. Yeah, like again, slashes were heavily saturated in the 80s. So then when Nightmare on Elm Street came out, that changed the fucking game.
Oh
Because
yeah,
because it wasn't didn't take place during a fucking holiday. 2, it was in your sleep. He got you in your sleep. That if you fall asleep, like good luck trying to get out. Wes Craven was a genius like that, man. He took the slasher genre and he flipped it. He did it twice. He did it with Nightmare on Elm Street and he did it with Scream. Scream is like more satire than anything. It very much like it critiques the slasher tropes. It's you guys should watch Scream when you get the chance. It's really good.
I've seen Scream.
You've seen Scream?
Yeah.
Wanna
1, 2,
play a
and
game?
3. Yeah.
Wanna play it?
No.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Scary Movie 15.
I love it because it's Matthew Lillard and it's Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah.
That's the killers.
Yeah, spoilers for those who haven't watched it yet. Who gives a fuck? It's been out for a while. That was
I
probably
know,
like
it's been long enough.
that was like one of my favorite twists in any movie. It's just them like
Yeah, I didn't know it was them.
like showing themselves. Yeah. It wasn't just one killer; it was 2 killers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like the rest,
Twist!
and then like the rest of the movies are just like, why can't people just leave Cindy alone? What did she do?
What did you do?
Come on, there's no reason to go after this woman. Please, just leave her alone.
They always go after Dewey as well.
Cindy
Always got to do it.
alone.
Yeah, they always go after Deputy Dewey.
That's because Debbie Dewey's a dumbass.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god. That he got. I do feel bad for him though, because he got used by the news reporter.
Oh
And that
yeah,
made me
Gail Weathers.
Yeah. What's another good horror film?
They made a TV series out of that as well, by the way.
Yeah, actually the TV series is really good.
Yeah, it
TV
wasn't
series
bad. It was not bad at all.
There's quite a few horror shows that are pretty good.
And that's me saying that with a horror.
Yeah, because like I've not seen the full series, but I saw Lock and Key, which take elements of the horror kind of like with the torment that they went through and the trauma.
Nice.
And it's because it's basically the whole thing is they witness their own father's death.
Okay.
So if any horror elements happened in front of them, even if someone was trying to make a horror movie, they felt like, oh shit, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I can tell you're tired.
No, like I just yawn. I just yawn for no reason. Even if like I have high energy, I just yawn.
Plus
Makes no
time
sense
zones.
at all. No. Even if I wake up, like if I sleep in, I still yawn. Apparently, I looked it up and was like, oh, it might be an anxiety thing.
Honestly, I think it is.
Yeah, that probably is. Speaking of like horror, other than like films, let's talk about video game horror.
Oh my god.
Damn it.
Because I love like the Resident Evil and Silent Hill series. Like they're just so good.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I didn't play them, but I just enjoyed viewing them from like the outside perspective of just like,
yeah, I won't play them.
God, I'm not playing that.
Yeah.
You need to. There's a separate experience from playing and viewing the fucking horror.
I have been playing one horror game though, which it counts. Call of Cthulhu counts. Even though it's
counts.
Yeah.
It's more of a detective game more than
It's more of a
anything.
detective game, but you're looking into a horror story.
Yeah.
You're investigating a horror story.
Oh yeah. Dude, Lovecraft's creatures were so fucked, man. Like they were, especially Cthulhu. The thing that I like about Cthulhu is that he isn't just like this Godzilla calling fucking creature where you show him all the time. If you look at him once, you go crazy.
Yep.
That's how fucked it is, And
all the culty shit that goes with it.
all the culty shit. You haven't finished the game yet, have you?
I haven't finished it yet. No.
You don't know any of the spoilers or any of the story beats?
Not all of them. I've basically just got Sarah back.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah. I'm in for a fucking treat.
You're in for a fucking treat.
Also, other great games, Outlast and Outlast 2. I had to watch because I could not play.
Resident Evil 7 is like my favorite Resident Evil.
My sister will agree with you on that one.
That game just because I played all of them, dude. I played all the fucking games, and for like a while, like everyone had the consensus, like, Resident Evil is never going to come back to its roots, right? It's never going to be horror again. So when 7 shows up, it's like interesting. Is that scene in Django Unchained where it's like, first you had my attention, now you have my curiosity, or I think it was the other way around. And when I finally played it, like I was terrified when I first played that game, especially with Jack, because you're unarmed at the beginning of the game. You have to find weapons, right? But when Jack just comes like stalking you or coming at you with that big ass shovel of his, it's like, oh no, I don't want to be here. Oh, he can't die. He can't actually die. Oh, sweet Mary, Mother of God. I should stop playing this right now.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it's a great game.
Yeah.
And then they get the Silent Hill. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Who were you gonna say?
Do it.
Huh? Like the Silent Hill games are just, they're more psychological than they are like, at you.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Silent Hill 2 is so fucking good. Like if you ever have a chance to play that game, you should play that game. Like just how subtle that game is, with its horror, with its even with its themes too. If you really like dig in deep into the themes of Silent Hill 2, you're not going to sleep that night. You're not.
I don't sleep anyway.
That's how derangedly fucked that game is. So yeah, that's all I gotta say on that.
Another one that comes to mind is, even though I can't really play it anymore because my ex has it, Until Dawn.
I haven't played that. I need to play it.
You're basically controlling the narrative of the butterfly effect through a horror story.
Nice.
I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah, I've watched it because I can't exactly play it because I don't have the game anymore. Thanks. I've
watched all the Resident Evils, Outlast. all on Jacksepticeye's channel because it's funny when he fucking screams.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror games out there that are brilliant. I've still yet to play the Dark Pictures anthology.
The Evil Within 2 is criminally underrated.
Evil Within, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing video for the Evil Within 1.
The Evil Within 2 is like 10 times better than the first game. Like, it is
Was it
so
really?
fucking good. Yes. Like, it is. Nobody talks about that game enough. It is severely underrated. From like the art design to the creatures to the story. Oh my god, the story is really good. Like, I didn't think that the story of the Evil Within 2 was going to be good, but it is art, okay? It is fucking art. If you thought The Last of Us Part 2 was art, this is art.
Art!
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, I love horror. I love horror so much because
I can tell you do.
It's just
the way you talk about it as well.
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's the most creative genre, or one of the most creative genres out there, because there's so many little things that go into it. You know, like again, A Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, the set pieces, everything needs to be moving. It's not just like CGI, because CGI wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
Everything had to be moving. Then you got stuff like, you know, The Evil Dead, right? And then, The Thing. Oh, The Thing is so good. That
Yeah.
movie still gets me. There's a scene in that movie where
I would say another movie as well, kind of like Blair Witch.
Blair Witch is a hit or miss for me.
Is it really?
Yeah, I want to go back and revisit it to see if my opinion changes. But I remember when I first
Both
watched it.
versions.
But there's two versions.
You've got the original 97 one, and then
there's
they
a remake.
remade it. They remade it, basically, Blair Witch.
I mean the sequel, because the sequel to that, like, they came out years
Yeah,
later.
2016.
Okay, and then there's the Blair Witch
Because
Project.
they basically portrayed that movie as being called The Woods. And then when they showed the trailer in the theaters, all the posters changed because they revealed it was the Blair Witch on Comic-Con weekend.
Ooh, I should probably watch that.
And it was out in September of that year as well.
Mm-hmm.
They did
I
it
should probably-
in July, released it in September, and it got rated pretty poorly because it was Adam Wingard who did that. But the trailer looked freaking terrifying.
I should probably check it out and give my opinion on it, because there's some horror movies that
I would say so. I would say, like, definitely give it a watch, and
yeah,
we can come back to the conversation anytime.
Oh yeah, but it's just I started loving horror more the more I started to appreciate filmmaking, right? Because again, that shit's hard. You need a lot of people on that fucking set to do movies like that, especially if it's like high concept, like, you know,
I agree.
Eldritch horror. It's all hands on deck at that point, you know, and.
What the fuck?
I tried to do the thing of all hands on deck and drop my mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Blue Mind Podcast. That's Lou, that's Yasmin, and I'm Daniel Madrigal. And today we're dropping mics, literally. Don't do it! Don't do it! You just hear an explosion in the background.
Mm-hmm. Boom.
Boom.
I'm so sorry, Danny. Continue, please.
It's all good. Oh yeah, it's man. Again, like horror done right, you know, it leaves you thinking for like weeks on end, and even after that, when you go to revisit it, you start to see more things that are involved in the movie. More themes is what I mean to say. You start to see the deeper meanings within those movies.
Because I've just thought of a link between that, of something that was tried to portray but didn't do accurately, and they made that movie way too late. Slender Man.
Oh god, don't talk about that movie.
We won't talk about the movie, but we'll basically talk about how it didn't translate to screen from what the game was, because they had the original Slender Man game, which was you've got to collect 8 pages, but you don't know why. And then they did Slender the Arrival, which was the game.
Yeah. I mean, like the Slender Man was like, I think it was a creepypasta before it was a video game.
It was a creepypasta.
And then like Yeah, it came out in the wrong time. It came out in the very, very wrong time. There are there's a web series called Marble Hornets that I suggest. It's kind of about the Slenderman creepypasta, right? It's really good. It's like one of the best like internet shows ever.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just it did originate from a creepypasta internet meme created by Something Awful Forum in 2009.
For the longest time, I had a friend of mine who thought that the fucking Slenderman was real. I'm like, no, it's a
lot of people I remember seeing around the 2012 time.
Yeah.
People posting YouTube videos were basically saying, guys, I just saw Slenderman. And I'm just like,
oh my god, those YouTubers. I'm so glad that they're not around anymore.
Yeah. Things have changed for the better.
Things have changed for the better and for the worse, depending on which side of the spectrum you're on.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a mood.
That is a mood.
I'm easy.
Yeah, and horror is just amazing when done right. It's just I love it. I love it. I can't say anything else about it. I fucking love horror.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a perfect way to end this. Especially it's like you've just basically said you can't describe it in any other way. Well, okay then. I think that was a really insightful conversation, and you'll definitely have to come back at some point and
Hell yeah, dude.
the conversation.
Hell yeah.
You'll have to get me to watch some horror films.
Dude, I got a list of horror movies for you to watch, man.
Yeah. You'll just have to tailor to our expectations a little bit.
Yasmin.
All right, so do you want to sleep at night or do you want to stay awake at night? Which one do you want?
Well, I'll probably watch the horror movies in the day. So
yeah.
Yasmin, you gotta watch it with the lights on.
We'll watch it together. We'll do a watch party together.
I'm not watching Saw with you.
Okay, that's fine.
I might think of getting you to watch these.
Together?
Those are good. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Danny, for
oh yeah,
coming
dude.
on.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This is fun.
You're welcome.
And you can check out because Danny's making a brand new podcast, which is very wild and extravagant.
Chaos.
Where chaos reigns supreme indeed, more than our own.
I am the king of that kingdom.
Yeah, and we are the first episode. So, yeah, we made the first episode earlier, so definitely check that out when it is available, and I will probably put that up on Twitter. And obviously, Danny's social media will go in the bottom. But where can people find you?
So you on YouTube, you can just like search my name, Danny Madrigal, or Daniel. Let me see real quick before I,
either Danny or Daniel.
Oh no, it's Daniel. Please tell me you guys have seen. Please tell me you guys seen Auntie Donna.
No.
Oh, you'll watch it, please. It's just Danny Madrigal, and it's a picture of me with like a shotgun in black and white. Then
it's a Zoom picture, basically.
Yeah. Then my Twitter is like at 9 Danny_Madrigal8, or just search my name. Just search my name. Okay. I'm not very proud when it comes to these things.
Fair enough.
And if you no, I'm not gonna plug my short film channel because it's all horrible.
Okay. I was gonna say if you want to plug it.
Nah, we're good. We're good.
Fair enough.
All right,
but thank you, Danny, for coming on, and we really appreciate it. And
yeah, no problem.
This has been an heck of an episode, even though I felt like at one point when I turned around to get those films, I was just like, he's saying a good point, but I can hear him. Yeah, but thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You're a really good friend of ours. So
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You're the first.
I'm the first.
You're the first.
You never forget your first.
Good time for a text to come in.
That was just somebody going live on Twitch.
Wow.
I know.
But anyway, thank you to Danny for coming on the podcast. I'm just pointing at him down there.
Poke.
And Lou, be sensible.
Me? Sensible? No.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's true.
But if you want to see more from Blue Minds, then please subscribe to the channel and look out for more content like this. We are on, this would be our 10th episode, actually, thinking about it. Like, oh my god.
Jesus, 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've got tons of episodes where we go into different topics in geek culture, and movies is kind of a topic. So we've covered that with Danny. And anywho, that has been Lou.
That has been Yasmin.
Hey! We get the point on point, and then Danny just looks at us like, what the fuck?
And I'm Danny. And I'm sad.
And press that notification bell.
Oh, I like that.
Yes!
When you subscribe, press the notification bell.
That hurt my ears.
Press the bell. There we go. And also look out for us on our social medias with Twitter and obviously on YouTube.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I will now say goodbye.
Ta-ta.